Welcome back, everyone. Next, we have Hempacco Company, Inc. It trades on the NASDAQ under the symbol HPCO, and its goal is disrupting tobacco's nearly $1 trillion industry with herb and hemp-based alternatives to nicotine cigarettes by manufacturing and marketing herb, spice, and cannabinoid smokables and rolling paper. Please welcome its co-founder and chief marketing officer, Jorge Olson, as well as CEO and co-founder Sandro Piancone. Welcome, gentlemen, and congratulations having just rung the closing bell on NASDAQ. So happy to have you back here today.
Thank you, Anna. Thanks for having us back on, and thank you for the group, everyone listening. We know your time's very valuable, so we appreciate giving us 30 minutes. Yes, we're very excited. We just came back from New York. As you can see, I lost my voice from all the yelling. We had a great time at NASDAQ, the closing bell. They treated us so well. And we had our joint venture partners there, our investors, clients, suppliers. It was fantastic. Jorge.
It was an incredible experience. Everybody at NASDAQ was incredible to us. We had our family, our board members, and a lot of people that showed up. We made it to Bloomberg. We made it to a lot of financial television networks. Overall, it was an incredible experience.
Yeah, so why don't we get into the presentation, and then we're going to leave a lot of time for questions because we feel that that's the best part of it, answering the questions for our investors.
That's fine.
Yeah, here's a little bit of our disclaimers that are in all the PowerPoints. We will not bore the group today and read them, but I will just go through and do it. So as Anna said, a little bit of our company overview. Hempacco is disrupting the $1 trillion tobacco industry. So that number is a worldwide number. When we first started, we thought we were in the CBD hemp business, which if it hits all of its projections will be a $25 billion industry in 5 years. But today's market that we're in is a $1 trillion industry that we're disrupting. And how are we doing that? We're doing it by selling herb and hemp smokables, and anything that right now that you may enjoy in the tobacco industry, we will be coming out with a product disrupting tobacco with herbs and hemp products. We do it through our own brands and joint ventures. We've launched several brands, one being The Real Stuff, Hemp Hop, with James Lindsay and Rick Ross, and Cheech and Chong's hemp smokables. We also provide full service private label manufacturing, and we also have 600 vending machine kiosks. Think of them as red boxes for hemp and CBD products. A little bit about the $1 trillion global tobacco market. It's a $1 trillion industry. They spend $1 million on marketing per hour on marketing. 19% of the adult world population smokes. There is an interesting article that just came out. I'm going to have Jorge tell us a little bit about it in the U.S. in particular. So we'll need to add this to the slide.
Yes. In the United States, more Americans smoke cannabis than tobacco products, which is incredible. And that's great for us because we are the suppliers of some of those products. For example, smoking paper where people roll their cannabis. So that for us is incredible news.
Thank you, Jorge. Also, if you look down in the bottom where we talk about cigarettes are sold, so 97% of all cigarettes are sold in convenience stores, or what I like to say, convenience stores, liquor stores, gas stations. So that's our target market. People aren't ordering cigarettes online or going to a supermarket. Well, I guess they are, but 3% of it. Most cigarettes are sold in convenience stores, liquor stores. That's our target market, the 100,000 mom and pop liquor stores out there. Our business segments, we have co-branding, manufacturing, and partnerships. We have intellectual property. So we have several patents, which we'll talk about, our own brands, and then are selling our own products through joint ventures in our 600 vending machines. So The Real Stuff. This product right here was done for the early adopters. We designed this for early adopters. The box itself is made out of hemp. The filter is made out of hemp. The paper is made out of hemp. It's 100% biodegradable. We use organic hemp inside with CBD. Also, it may look like a regular box, but it has two different technologies. One is we have a patent to spray terpenes onto the flower that we license through OBX. And then our other patent is to infuse the filters with terpenes and aroma. So that's a patent that we filed. So this was our initial product, our premier product coming out. We also now have a 10-pack, and our secret weapon is our Solito. If you can see that on the slide, where you can go into a liquor store, try it out, buy one of them for $2 and do it. But everything is biodegradable. And so the biggest pollutant in the oceans right now is not straws, it is filters. And we want to change that with our hemp biodegradable filter. Jorge, I'll let you talk a little bit about intellectual property.
Sure. We're not just a consumer packaged goods industry and product company. We also develop technology. We develop patents and other technology that we have in patent that includes pre-manufacturing before it goes into the machine. It includes the actual mechanisms, the machines, and the way we produce product. That's our machinery, other intellectual property that we haven't released. It took us 2 years to run just one hemp cigarette through our machine. Now, it's important to mention when I talk about machines, these are not pre-rolls. If Sandro hands me a pack, I'll show you which are hand-filled cigarettes. These are machine-made, as you can see here. And the smoker experience, it's just like a tobacco smoker. So if somebody wants to switch to a better smoke, they will not have any difficulty from the kinesthetic point of view. It looks the same, it feels the same to the touch, it opens the same, cigarette itself is the same, and we make it in machine-made. This is machine-made, where we can produce 1 million of these packs every single month. So we have enough here for supply. That's very important. That's part of our patents. Now, it doesn't end with manufacturing. It goes after manufacturing as well into the packaging. We have patents and patent pendings and intellectual property that we haven't released on our 10-pack, both the machine and the package. We also have the same for our Solito, our single stick, again, both in the process, and we made a machine from scratch that can put this into a single. Again, if you're a tobacco company, you cannot do that. It is illegal. If you're a hemp company, yes, you can do that. If you're a spice company, if you're somebody disrupting tobacco, you're allowed to do all of this. So all of this enters into our intellectual property. Now, there's one more worth mentioning, which is the customer experience. The customer experience is by when they see this product, when they touch it, when they open it, because we deliver smell and taste through terpenes, through spraying of terpenes. And we have that, and that is already in a patent. One is a patent that we license, one is a patent pending, where we are the only ones in the US, Canada, and Mexico to spray terpenes. You heard that correctly. We are the only ones that can actually spray terpenes, in other words, flavoring and smelling into the flower. But wait, there's more. We also have the patent, this is a patent pending, to do the same with the filter. We can do menthol, and where menthol is being outlawed in California, New York, and other states, along with other flavors, we can flavor our smokables all day long.
Thank you, Jorge. So we're a consumer goods company. We own our own factory. Jorge talked about that. Not only do we have the one line, we also announced we acquired 2 new lines. So now we're able to do 90 million sticks a month. So before it was 30 million sticks a month with 1.5 million packs. Now we've been able to 3 times that there. So how does Hempacco intend to grow? We talked a little bit about it. In the hemp smokables, we have what we call the first adopters. These are the people that maybe were smoking marijuana, cannabis. Now they've gone to this. Then we have new products, which we'll talk about when we get to the joint ventures, which are these different products that have terpenes, flavorings in them. And then what we believe is the holy grail is a product that looks, smells, tastes like a tobacco cigarette, but has no nicotine in it. So there's no smell. So no smell is what we're looking at and what we'll be bringing to the table.
And the way we grow is by putting these products into convenience stores. That's where the majority of cigarette smokables are purchased, also smoke shops with wraps.
Sure.
And how we intend to grow is through wholesalers and distributors into convenience stores. That's our business model. And then, of course, by having machines in a lot of stores so that we can not only sell, but also brand. Think that we'll talk about more about this, but they are giant point of sale.
Absolutely.
Which I love.
So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So a little bit about our partnerships and JVs. We have over 20 current private label partners, and that's growing every day. But two partners that we decided to just form a joint venture with. One is our first one, which is Hempacco Smokables. It is formed with Rick Ross and James Lindsay. We put together, so it's not a licensing agreement. They're our partners. So we have a joint venture partner. They're your partners. If you're a shareholder in Hempacco, they're your partners now. And we have this together. These are products that we've come up with that we worked with both James and Rick to come up with this flavoring. Everyone knows Rick is famous for rosé. He has a champagne called rosé. We made sure we matched the flavor to that. So we have 3 products like this. We also have a line of Delta 8 products, which is a cannabinoid that we came out with. And then so we have some new products coming out, some whole rolling papers that are coming out on that. So that's with Hempacco. And then the same, we put together a partnership with the icons that everyone knows, Cheech and Chong. People my father's age, our age, and my son's age, who's 21, know who Cheech and Chong are. So we've done this together with them. They've worked on flavoring, and we've announced both of these that we have announced launching their product. So available both on our e-commerce and through distribution and sales to convenience stores and liquor stores. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yes, if you can hand me the Hempacco. Now, this is one of my favorites. As you can see here, this is a bag, which the type of bag that you find in a cannabis store. And Rick Ross wanted exactly that experience, the experience of having it as if you're buying cannabis, which you're not. And then inside, you get, you guessed it, rosé Delta 8 smokables in a child-proof package. Now, for everybody to try it, we will give them a buy one, get one free of anything that we're showing today at realstuffsmokables.com. Please go and buy it. So it's different for me to show it to you than for you to buy it, and free shipping, of course, and receive it in your house. And now you can try it. Now you know what we're talking about.
And the key for that, because it won't work, they have a special code that they need. Right?
That's right. HPCO is the code. Buy one, get one free.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. So our relationship with RAW, we have a great relationship with RAW going over a year now. We have done products for them. Sorry, R&D on certain products. We do manufacturing for them for their Juicy and Skunk brands. So we have announced that. It is in our S1 and a press release. So these are products that we make for them. We have an ongoing relationship, a large PO for $9.2 million to produce products for them. We also did a line of smokables for them with our technology in a 10-pack. So certain terpenes in a 10-pack that we've rolled out with them. And we're looking forward to doing special rollout of a raw vending machine in certain places around the United States. A little bit more about the joint venture. I think we touched on a little bit more, but this is the joint venture we did with Rick Ross, the boss.
And before we change that, this relationship with Rick Ross with Hempacco is with Rick Ross and James Lindsay. And I say that, and it's very important because James Lindsay is an expert in wholesale distribution. He's been in the game for 20 years. He has 42 master distributors for his other product, Wrap Snacks, which sell to the same demographic. So they're walking in, and we're walking into this 50-50 deal, which is not a licensing deal. We both own the company, with James Lindsay and his 42 master distributors, which is just phenomenal. It took him 20 years to build that. So that's spectacular.
Excellent. Thank you for saying that. Here's a little bit more about our Cheech and Chong. We talked a little bit about that with the flavors and blunt rolls coming out, and we're going to be working on a special project with them for vending machines also. So Cheech and Chong, they were not able to join us at the NASDAQ. They're filming a new movie in Hollywood. So we look forward and congratulate them on their new movie that's coming out. Let's talk about vending machines. Perfect timing. The company owns 600 vending machines that we will be rolling out under different joint ventures, under our own brands. But basically, think of it as a red box for our products that you can go into a supermarket, convenience store, a casino, a large cannabis dispensary, and you'll be able to go in and buy our product. We solve the two largest problems that retailers have. One is education. A lot of people think what we do is illegal. It's completely legal in all 50 states. So you can go in and buy hemp products and machines. The second problem we solve is theft, both from the consumer and the employees. We also have age verification, and we'll be able to do advertising on the machine. So that's coming also. So these machines will be strategically placed throughout the United States to build our brand and also sell product. But the most important part is the data. The data that comes through these machines is tremendous, and that will work to our benefit.
Oh, yeah. And if you see the screens there, Sandro, people can actually see them on the photograph.
Yep.
We have a screen at the top, and then we have a screen at the right or left of the machine, or both.
Correct.
Which we can show specials, real time, by the way, merchandising, and then we can push advertising. Now, this is not just running in the machine in a loop. We will be able to push advertising real time into the machines in certain stores, all the stores, or anything in between.
Perfect. Here, Jorge, I can let you do this. Used to have an iceberg on it, but these are what we like to do as comps, comparatives to other companies that publicly trade in our space. So Jorge, I'll let you talk about it.
At the moment, or the last time that I checked, the company TAT had a higher market cap than Hempacco, maybe twice or three times as much. However, once you start looking into the two companies, you realize that TAT, which is a great product because we did the research and development, so we know that it is a great product, as a brand, which is a spectacular brand. Again, we did the research and development. If you look at their video of manufacturing, that's our factory. Now, we also have a brand. Actually, we have a lot of brands,
right?
But we have one brand, two brands, partnerships, etc. We have manufacturing. We own our own manufacturing. That includes all of the assets. We also own intellectual property that we mentioned before. We develop functional smokes. What are those? Functional smokes are smokes that give you the ability to relax, with CBD, for example, to focus, or to get sleepy with CBN and other cannabinoids, because we also have a lab in our intellectual property where we are developing new brands and new functions. Now, we also have joint ventures like the ones that we saw with Rick Ross, with Cheech and Chong, and we have more coming, and too many right now to mention, but we have a lot of joint ventures. And yes, we have 600 kiosks, which are assets, but also, and more importantly, they are salespeople for our products, and more importantly than that even, is they're incredibly large pieces of merchandising equipment. Now, just so you guys know, Sandro and I have been in this business even together for about 20 years. That includes merchandising and selling product off the shelf. We both know that when you take a product and you take it off the shelf, you put it on the counter, like our products, or on some sort of spinner, rack, or something else, sales just go through the roof. And that's the importance of our vending machines.
Thank you. And then, can't be said enough, we don't do this by ourselves. We have a spectacular management team that we put together. Here's a deck, but we did miss one. So there's myself, I'm a co-founder, and Jorge Olson. Neville Pearson is our CFO. Dr. Stuart Titus was the CEO. He is now the chairman of the board of Hempacco. He was the CEO of Medical Marijuana Inc., one of the first publicly traded CBD companies. It's a companies of first. They were the first ones to bring CBD into Mexico, into Brazil, into Japan. So great visionary to have Dr. Stuart Titus. Jerry Halamuda is one of our board members. He was a CEO and co-founder of Color Spot. the largest nursery in the United States. So if you ever bought a Christmas tree or a poinsettia at Walmart, Costco, Target, that was from them. And then one that, this is a new slide, Mickey Stevens, who's one of our new board members. She and her husband started a company called Harmony Hemp, built it up and sold it to Charlotte's Web, and now she's on our board of directors. So we're excited to have her, and this is the management team, but it happens much more than that. We have people all over the world. We have an office in Poland. We have people in our San Diego facility. We have a team in Mexico. So we have, and consultants all over, we have them.
Let me talk fast about these managers. Sandro, of course, just exited a $200 million company. Yes, he was selling $200 million per year. He scaled it from zero, by the way. Actually, he scaled it from minus zero because it was a turnaround. So it was minus zero to $200 million. Scaling companies is what he does. We have Jerry, another person scaling $100 million companies. The experience that he brings is just spectacular. Mergers and acquisitions is one of his specialties. Mickey, same thing. Modern hemp-related mergers and acquisitions in hemp. Dr. Stuart Titus, the grandfather and world authority on hemp. Of course, Neville, experience in numbers, a lot of publicly traded company in numbers. You have myself, more than 1,000 fast-moving consumer goods launched into the market. I had my own distribution into 17,000 convenience stores, kind of what we're going to do now. Absolutely. And that's the 1 minute on our management team.
Awesome. And that's it. That's Hempacco. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Our investment banker that took us out is Bowstead Securities. And thank you, Dan McClory, for helping us do that. But Anna, let's open it up to questions.
Great job, gentlemen. And again, congratulations. Okay, so we've got lots of questions. Let's see what we can get through. Talk about some catalysts for the company. What should shareholders look for?
Yeah, so as we said, we're a consumer goods company. So we need to execute. We need to get our products in stores. So a catalyst for them to look for is as we sign up master distributors, we will be putting out press releases. That's a catalyst. And also signing up locations. So as we sign up a chain of convenience stores, liquor stores, smoke shops, those will be the catalyst that you should look for. Also, new technologies. We have a lot of new technologies that we're either joint venturing with, acquiring the technology, or filing ourselves. And last but not least, more joint ventures with large celebrities.
And let me add something to that. One of the reasons to be public is to use your stock as currency. And one of the ways that we can grow exponentially is through mergers and acquisitions. So that's a lot of our time is spent in examining and then planning for mergers and acquisitions.
Great answer. Talk a little bit about revenue. What does the cash flow situation look like?
Yeah, so there's a lot of reports out there because they always pick up from last year. They look back in history. So last year in 2021, we did a little bit over $1.1 million in revenue. Our first quarter of 2022, we did approximately $971 million. Our second quarter, almost double that, $1.8 million in revenue.
So the first one was 1,000, not million.
Oh, sorry, million, yes. 970, yeah, 1 million. 1.8 million our second quarter, and we were cash flow break even. And so balance sheet, obviously we just raised $6 million minus fees, plus our assets before. So we have a very strong balance sheet to go forward.
And Sandro, it's important for investors to know that our mentality of bootstrapping is how we run the company and how we just came back from New York with meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting with funds and investment bankers, and they just couldn't believe that we are breaking even. That they said, we never see that. So that's something that we're very proud of.
Yes.
Great. Should be. We've got a question. Jean L and Vu Nyo, they want to know, since Hempacco is now on NASDAQ, will we ever see Green Globe International Inc. go to NASDAQ, or would GGII ever merge with HPCO? And if there are plans to go to a higher exchange, how would we get there? By reverse split, something else? How does it work? How does GGII fit to the equation?
Well, that's a mouth load. So GGII owns 81% of Hempacco. So they're a large shareholder in Hempacco. They have a different board of directors. That'll be a decision that they will make. Obviously, the plan is to go to OTCQB and NASDAQ at some point, but the devil's in the details, and we don't have those details.
Or a higher exchange.
Or a higher
It could be NASDAQ, it could be something else.
Yes.
Yes, and by the way, the merging question, there's no reason to merge. They're already merged.
Right. It owns 81% of it, and it owns other companies. So Green Globe International owns other companies aside from Hempacco.
And what was a reason for having HPCO go to NASDAQ instead of GGII?
So it was a decision made by our board and Dan McClory at Baustad. It was a quicker route to get to NASDAQ, and that was the decision we made.
It's important to notice also, Green Globe International, ticker symbol GGII, owns several companies in fast-moving consumer goods in different verticals. For example, vitamins and nutraceuticals and beauty products. Those are two different verticals, and then smokables. Each one of those companies can be uplisted at one time or the other. So we have to make a decision of which one comes first, which one comes second. Hempacco was the oldest and most mature companies of all of the other ones that we have. Yeah. Who knows, maybe there'll be an opportunity to not only uplist GGII to a higher exchange, but some of our joint ventures or other companies as well.
Sure.
Okay. Pam Waddell asks, is the quiet period over? And if so, do you plan to start releasing news soon?
So the quiet period was before we went public. So it's 25 days since we filed the S1. We have been putting out press. We have been putting out news releases. So the answer is, since we went public, yes, now the quiet period is over.
And we've done one a week, maybe?
Yeah, one a week, two a week. So
yes.
Ellen Kennedy asks, where is the focus in terms of priority? More white label, new products, or expanded distribution?
So there's different tracks. It's expanded distribution. That's number one. Getting our products in the hands of consumers. We talked about the 97% of people where they buy their cigarettes. So that's where we need to be. So our focus is on distribution. We just got back from a trade show in Europe, signing up distributors. We have NACS next week in Las Vegas. Some of our team members will be at NACS. So distribution is number one, and then new technologies and new products.
If some of the investors want to meet us or team members at NACS, they're welcome to come. Absolutely. Shake our hand, ask us questions directly. Perfect.
Great. Chris Austin wants to know if you're handling the manufacturing in-house.
Yes, all manufacturing is done in-house. We have our factory in San Diego. We do all of our manufacturing in-house for the hemp smokables in our technology.
And again, if investors want to come and tour, they're welcome to come and tour our facility.
John Mack wants to know if the vending machines are yours. How does that revenue vertical work?
So yes, the machines are ours. Early on, we were doing a lot of different testing. So we were doing some joint ventures, some different parts. But now that we're fully capitalized, the machines are ours. We put them out there. So from a revenue standpoint, we're the manufacturer, we're the retailer, and we'll be able to collect all the revenue when we do a revenue share with the locations, with the retail locations.
Great. Lisa Franklin asks, geographically, where are you selling and what areas are next?
So we're very strong in California, San Diego in particular. Another strong market for us is Texas and Florida. We just got back from New York. While we were there ringing the NASDAQ bell, we went to meet distributors. So those are our focal points. Of course, because of e-commerce, we ship all over the United States. We've done several shipments to Europe. But our focus is on the United States of America, where hemp smokables or, let's say, other cannabinoids are legal, like Delta-8. That's our focus. So Nevada, Arizona.
And then we have large partners like RAW, which RAW, for example, is the largest. Well, how can we phrase this? They sell to the cannabis industry, and they are the largest supplier with $8 billion. They are in every single state, and they are the number one, not only in the United States, but in the world. The market penetration is the best. When we manufacture a product, it's already in all of these stores. As a matter of fact, when Sandra and I were touring stores and wholesalers in New York, we saw the product that we manufacture already there.
Well, you got to come to the Wild West of the cannabis industry. It's in Oklahoma. So head on over here. We need these products. Okay. Question from Robin Hunter. What does your competition look like? Is it Philip Morris? Any others out there producing a competitive product?
So let's look at the industry. It's $1 trillion industry. So our competitors are, when people feel the need to either relax or go to bed or sleep, they'll either light up a cigarette. So it's Marlboro, it's Philip, it's Altria, it's British American Tobacco. That's the industry we're trying to disrupt. But do they make a hemp cigarette? The answer is no. Our competitors are, we just talked about one being TAT. We talked about another company that it's a comp to us, which is 22nd Century. They're disrupting tobacco with a low nicotine product. So what we're coming out with, we feel we're the market leader. There are some other smaller hemp companies, hemp smokable companies, but not with the technology and for sure not with the icons and the brands that we have in the marketplace.
And it's important to note, this is a portfolio industry. Think of the beverage industry, think of the beer industry. Budweiser doesn't just deliver Budweiser, Miller doesn't just deliver Miller. If you look at the entire portfolio now that people in fast-moving consumer goods take to the store, we want to be that. We want to be the portfolio managers for the industry, where everything comes through us, either because they have to pay a fee into our intellectual property, or because we manufacture or own the products.
Great. Jared Rodriguez wants to know what type of regulatory approvals do you have to go through for your products?
So the largest one was the hemp bill being signed at the end of 2018 that made hemp legal in all 50 states. So at the beginning, there was no regulation. Now, little by little, state by state, they're having different regulations. So we have a compliance department that's on top of it. In California, they have a new hemp license that we just got approved for. So as new regulation comes, we will be compliant for it.
And by the way, we are not afraid of regulation. We welcome regulation because we are self-regulated and we know we have the cleanest facility up to par. We've been doing food and beverages for 20 years, and we already visited some other locations where it's not. So we want regulation to speed up.
Yeah. What we don't want are taxes. And so the CBD industry has not seen any taxation, and we believe that will stay the same with hemp.
Great. Scott Larkin wants to know if you expect to show a profit for the current quarter.
So we don't announce those things. We can't talk about that. We can only talk about the past and what's in the S1.
And last quarter,
yes,
we broke even.
Yeah.
Okay. Yasmin wants to know, where is the big wave of growth going to come from, and what should we look for in your announcements?
So that's a little bit about the catalysts, right? So distribution, signing of master distributors, and retail locations. That's where the biggest growth will be. Someone that distributes to 2,000 locations, 4,000 locations. For us, we manufacture the product. It's already made. We ship it to their location, and their truck's already going out delivering 5-Hour Energy, M&Ms, and they put this product on the truck. So that's where you'll see the biggest catalyst. Also, the new technologies that are coming and our new celebrity partnerships.
And if you see in the future any explosive growth, it'll probably come from acquisitions.
Dana Norman wants to know if you have any data on what the average customer spends on your product each month.
So that data is new right now. It's very, because our clients are the liquor stores or the distributors, not down to the consumer level. So that is, that data we don't have. We're working on getting that data. Right now, we know exactly what we sell to a distributor, what we sell to a liquor store. But once it leaves that liquor store, we lose that data.
Jess Cordova wants to know, is Ace and Axel still a client?
Yes, Ace and Axel is a client of ours. We were actually one of the founders, one of the presidents, one of the shareholders was in New York with us, ringing the bell at NASDAQ, Mr. Nick. So.
Great. Last question for you all from Richard Gonda. You've mentioned this, but maybe you need to hash it out a little bit more because it is pretty exciting. Richard wants to know if he can expect any big joint ventures or co-branding with celebrities.
So we've stated it 3 times. Yes, the best is yet to come. We just can't announce it here because it's not set yet. But we have a lot of exciting celebrity joint ventures coming down the pike.
And just for everybody to understand, because we don't say it, we think people already know it, but some do not. We cannot talk about anything that we haven't announced properly following SEC securities law. That means we have to sign the agreement, sometimes provide the agreement to the SEC if it's a celebrity, and then, and only then, we can send the press release. Now, we also have to show documentation to NASDAQ since we are a NASDAQ trading company. And only then we can announce it and then talk about it, photos, etc.
And so, Anna, we went through a quick deck. If more people like more information, they can go to sec.gov, look at our S1. It's only 560 pages, but if they can read and learn everything that we're doing.
Great. Well, this was a wonderful presentation. Congratulations on this success, and we look forward to you coming back again with some more updates. Thank you, gentlemen.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna. Thanks, everyone, for taking your time. We know your time is very valuable, so thank you for listening to us, too, for 30 minutes.
You did great. All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, everyone watching, stay with us. We'll be back in just a few moments with our next presenter.